like to talk to us. Can you give us a sign of your presence? And welcome to Let's Talk Ghost. I'm your host, Steve.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Will.
And it is August 24th, 2014. What you been up to, Dan?
Just got back on a week-long trip from New York City.
How was that?
It was fun. Took Delia to the Museum of Natural History because she had never been there.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, I've been there a few times. That's my third time in like the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Now, is that where they have the dinosaurs and all that stuff?
Yes, they have the dinosaurs and minerals and meteorites and all kinds of stuff.
Do they have any frozen aliens or?
No, they have the animals of different continents, like of Africa, North America.
Do they have any dinosaur poo?
They do. Actually, in the gift shop, you can buy dinosaur poo.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
It's called Coprolites.
Now,
It's
which borough is that in New York?
Oh, it's in Manhattan. It's on 81st Street. Right, it's like Central Park West and 81st. It's a huge museum. But yeah, it's like right next to Central Park and everything, and directly on the other side of Central Park is the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. That's where they have the Egyptian exhibit and a bunch of paintings and whatnot. I also went to Chinatown because I'd never been there, and wandered around Chinatown for a while and went into some of the shops because they have some pretty funky shops there.
Now there they probably sell rubber poo.
They probably sell rubber poo, but they also have the
that was me.
They have all those Chinese herbalist shops and stuff where you can get the dried up deer penis to
for
male enhancement. Yeah.
Oh, right.
No, but they have the cool herbalist shops and the traditional Chinese medicine shops but my only complaint about Chinatown is it really smells bad.
Really?
Because there's a lot of open air fish markets. On every block there's at least one or two storefronts where they just have a bunch of fish out packed in ice.
And the Chinese do like their fish.
And I do not like seafood at all. So
they do consume a lot of fish.
Right. So there's a lot of fish markets where the rest of Manhattan you don't really see that as much. There's not as much seafood just sitting out.
Right.
But then I went to a park there and there was a basketball game going on, a really a big deal kind of league. The guys were really good, dunking over each other and stuff like that.
Cool.
But they weren't Chinese.
No.
No.
So, Will, what have you been up to? Anything?
Well, my week's been a little bit more boring than Dan's, so I am going this week to get a tooth pulled.
Cool.
Yeah. Exciting.
Awesome.
That's always nice to look forward to.
And you're showing me your hopes, dreams, and aspirations of someday maybe building a little house.
A tiny house
on
wheels.
House. You've been thinking about doing that. Yeah. Be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Hoping maybe start it next summer.
Yeah. Why not? It's a little. How hard can it be? They're little.
They are little.
You only need. You can build it out of popsicle sticks. So, I love popsicles. So if we start now, we could probably have enough for at least the first floor.
Do you think it would be structurally sound?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not.
Get enough glue, I guess it would hold. I don't know. Or you get little tiny nails.
Yeah.
Okay, on a more serious note. No.
On a more serious note.
This is Let's Talk Ghosts, and you're not. No. We don't have a guest today. We're not going to do an interview today, but what we're going to do is we got a couple agendas to cover. First of all, we went on an investigation. Well, wait a minute. Before we get to there, we would like to... I know this is kind of a late, but since we have done our show last, we did lose a very great comedian.
Yes, Robin Williams.
And we'd like to send out our condolences to his family and friends.
Yeah.
Now, a few weeks ago, we did go on an investigation. It was on August 14th.
It was the day before I left for New York.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we went to Buffalo and we did the investigation with with Scott Schultz's group, New York Knicks or whatever.
Yeah, New York X.
X or whatever they call themselves.
Whatever they call themselves.
Whatever they call themselves. I can't keep up with everybody. And it was fun. We had a few issues that were out of everybody's control, but
Right.
But we still had a good time. Unfortunately,
there was a very loud concert going on.
Oh my God! Yeah, look, we get there, and we pull into the area where the military and naval museum or what park?
The shipyard.
Shipyard.
The park, or yeah, there's a park. Shipyard.
And there isn't a place to be had anywhere to park a car. There is just thousands and thousands and thousands of cars.
Because there's some kind of big summer concert festival thing going on.
Well, first of all,
Plus a boat.
there was some kind of a boat, like a sailboat rally going on.
Right.
So that had all the parking lots full.
Yep.
Then there was this concert right next to where the ships are.
Yeah, you could see the stage from the ships. It was a couple
so
hundred
we
yards
had all
away.
the people trying to find parking for that.
Right.
And it was.
Well, then you have the bar right next, right
then
there.
You had a bar right there. Then you have this huge apartment complex right there.
Yeah.
And parking spaces were really tough. We finally found a spot.
Right.
And so that was, we get on board, and we walk up to where we staged last year, and there's people setting up for a wedding.
Right. There's a big canopy, like a big tent with tables.
We're like, okay, what's going on? But they weren't going to be there that long. They were there actually quite late, though.
They're there till almost midnight, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they were there for a long time, stringing up lights and stuff.
So,
or at least
okay, and they were just kind of there, though, so they really weren't bothering us.
No.
But we couldn't stage.
We couldn't stage there where we like to stage.
Right.
So we ended up staging, just kind of piling our stuff down on the Sullivans.
Yeah, because they're setting up on the deck of the Little Rock, the helipad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other issue was that they failed to mention was there was going to be about 25 or however many
cadets.
They have some kind of a group up there called the something Navy Cadets, and it's for kids from the age of like 9 till 16 or something, or 15 or something.
Bunch of school-age children.
So it was a bunch of young kids and several chaperones.
Right.
And guess what they were doing? They were sleeping overnight on the Little Rock.
Yep.
So they're all over the Little Rock. So it wasn't as good as what we thought we're hoping, because it just was very contaminated with noise and EVP.
There was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on between the concert and all the people on the boats. And now we were able to get into the Croaker for a little while and have some privacy there.
Right, and I was flipping switches until I finally got it into
Battle
mode.
Yeah.
And we were able to get on the Croaker and do a little bit, and actually the Sullivans was pretty private. We were able to do stuff on there without being bothered too much.
Yeah, because the cadets were not on the Sullivans; they were only on the Little Rock.
And we were able. Well, we tried to go to the Brig a few times, but every time we went to the Brig on the Sullivans or on the Little Rock, there's always people there.
Yeah.
Right.
So we never got that really to ourselves.
Unfortunately.
And first of all, the concert was so loud that
it was stupid loud.
Until it ended, you couldn't do anything on the ships up near the concert.
No, it was
so
so loud.
You had to go all the way back.
Right. You had to get as far away as you could and get as deep as you could.
And on top of it, the singer that they had, for crying out loud, he was horrible.
Well, the first group wasn't too bad. It was like a rap group that wasn't that they weren't awful. They were okay.
No, not them. The second.
But
the
guy was just singing like wah 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 wah.
Yeah, it was blah 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 or wah 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 or something.
Something, yeah.
And that was horrible.
Yeah, his songs were just.
I wanted to go pay him just to
stop. Yeah, he wrote those songs, all of his songs, in probably 5 minutes total.
Yeah. He just instead of words, he would just say blah blah blah. blah.
Well,
that was the words.
And then he was like, this is my song, blah, or something like that. And
his name of the song is blah. So every word of the song is blah.
Yeah, he's like.
So
blah.
he's just pounding out a bunch of loud power notes, yelling blah blah blah.
Right.
And people are like cheering and dancing to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
However, we did get some good things on the ship.
Yeah, it was okay. You know, I didn't get too much. I had a couple whispers and a couple things that I got on recorder, but nothing I can really.
I gotta confess, I haven't even started listening to
No.
the EVPs yet.
I've been lazy.
Well, the problem with the EVPs are, like we've been saying, though, is
There really is not much you're going to get because they were so contaminated. It was so contaminated.
It was.
Now, I went through my. I did go through my high 8 and got nothing on that. But it was fun. I still enjoyed doing that. It was fun. It's for a good cause.
I had a good time too.
And Delia went with us, and she had a good time.
And because she had never been on an investigation before,
so it was good for her.
Well, it was good practice, you know, because it's
to see how you do it.
Because it's not really a serious investigation, so it wasn't anything that she could screw up.
However, there was at one point she did get her foot kicked.
Yeah, she's the only one who had a personal experience.
Yeah, and that's the one I wanted to shoot. I should have probably pulled that out for you, but we're not going to play it now. Maybe I'll get it out for next week. When we get done later, I'll let you guys hear it. But what I hear right before she gets kicked, it almost sounds like somebody's running past her.
That's what you're saying.
You hear these footsteps or something like pop, 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 and then all of a sudden you hear her scream.
Yeah.
And then everything, she gets up and starts moving. You hear the kind of the rustle of everybody moving.
Right.
But you hear it kind of a pop, 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 right before it happens.
Well, because after it happened, she kind of like latched onto my arm.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting, and that was about the only thing I got. And I do, I have that written down where it is.
I mean, if she,
I can't really do it now. The show.
If she didn't have that experience to go along with that, that would probably be an EVP that you would just. Well, it's not really an EVP, but that sound you'd probably write off as just being
right.
Yeah.
A noise, but
right.
Because she got her foot stepped on.
And the other thing is I got a couple whispers, but whispers you got to kind of take with a grain of salt because you don't know who was talking and stuff. So.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Other than that, we had a lot of fun. Going on these are fun.
Yeah.
And would I do it again? Maybe.
We've done it twice.
We've done it twice. It all depends, I guess.
The ships. I mean,
I think there's other places to investigate that are a little nicer, and I would like to do the Erie Mansion again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I would love to do the Erie Mansion again.
It'd be good to contact Mark and see if we can get in there again. I'm sure we do it again.
I'm sure. I don't know if he stays there in the winter.
I think he goes like Florida or something.
I would bet. I bet he don't keep that place heated.
No. Well, he says he doesn't.
I bet he turns the heat off and drains all the water out and heads south.
Yeah, as soon as it gets cold enough to where he has to heat that place, he's probably out of there.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind maybe in the spring or maybe next June or July or,
Well, in the spring we could always contact him. It wouldn't hurt.
Set up another investigation.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'd be fun.
I'd like to do it again. That was a fun investigation.
Right. And it's not that far to drive.
No. It wasn't too bad.
A lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs. A lot of stairs. And he's pretty, Mark is really, he stays out of our way, lets us pretty much do whatever we want to do.
Right, that's what
he only had a couple rules was don't sit on the beds.
Yep, stay off the beds.
And don't use the toilets in the rooms.
Right.
Because they're all
in the
clean.
Guest rooms,
in the guest rooms. Don't use the toilets in the guest rooms and don't sit on the beds.
There were toilets you can use.
Because they were made for guests and the toilets were all sanitized.
Well, all the guest rooms were on the first and second floor. On the third floor, there was apartments and stuff up on the third floor.
For his friends to stay at.
Right, that we could use the toilets and...
Right.
Stay
So, other than that, he's very accommodating.
Yeah, very.
It's a great place to go, especially, that would be a great place for anybody out there that's up here in the upstate New York area. If you have a lot of young members that need training,
it's a good place.
It would be a great place for a training.
Yeah.
For taking people for training.
Because as long as his rates stay the same, it's $200
for 10 people. So it's $20
up to 10 people.
Yep. So $20 a person. That's cheap.
Well, that's if you do bring 10 people. It's $200 whether.
Which it's not hard to come up with 10 people.
No.
So I mean, you figure $20 a person. Even if you only take 5 people, it's only It's $40 a person. That is still that bad.
Yeah.
Or if you take 6 or 8, then you're still getting down around $30 a person. Right. Yeah.
So it's not bad. It was fun.
And like you said, it would be good for training because also it does pose some problems trying to cover that large of a building. So you get some experience trying to blanket that
setting up cameras
in that big of a building because it's you have 4 floors. You have the basement and then 3 floors above ground, and it has stairways and passages and stuff everywhere.
And of course, we got a pretty good EVP, a couple pretty good EVPs from there.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
So the one I would consider a Class A EVP, the one with the little girl in the basement.
Yeah. Definitely.
And there's a little question on whether that is an EVP or one of the other investigators, but we really don't think it is the other investigator. We had
No.
one female with us,
Yeah.
Erin,
Oops, sorry.
and she wasn't down there during that time.
But in the EVP, you can hear her voice.
You can hear her voice, and it doesn't sound anything like the EVP. And
And
EVP
her-
sounds like a little child.
And Aaron's voice is off in the distance and
Right.
and a lot deeper than the EVP's
Yes.
voice.
It's very clear.
Unless, for whatever reason, she just suddenly did that in a little girl's voice and was just messing around and forgot she'd done that.
But why?
Well, people
You know.
do things. I goof around sometimes, believe it or not.
I definitely believe that.
Yeah, occasionally I goof around. I'm a very serious person.
Yeah.
You can tell. Now, one thing we were going to talk about, and we pretty well beat up Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time. Got to run around some boats.
But
No,
since we're on the subject of EVPs,
Oh yeah, this.
yeah.
This would be a good segue into our the one thing we're going to talk about. Now, this is going to be EVP 101. And if you follow me on Twitter, the one thing that you're going to hear from my show and you're going to hear from me is I am absolutely adamant about people that fake evidence. Please stop faking evidence.
You're making us all look bad.
You're doing nothing for the field.
Your plea's not going to work, though.
No. Well, here's the thing, and this is my and I challenge anybody. Can you think of anything that has been faked that has actually helped anything? That has been I can think of one fake thing that actually was a benefit, but I can't think of very many things that where something was faked, intentionally faked, that created a good thing out of it.
I can think of one thing.
What's that?
The moon landing.
Oh, there you go.
That furthered the space program.
Yes. You know what I thought? I challenge people to tell me.
I believe
to
we
think
landed
of something
on
that was fake that helped people. Well, the only thing I could come up with is during World War II, the Allies created fake tanks and fake soldier cutouts and all this stuff, fake stuff. They actually had inflatable tanks.
Right.
So when the Germans sent their spy planes over, they would see all these look like battalions of tanks.
Right.
And they were actually all styrofoam and inflatable tanks, but from the air they look like tanks.
Oh yeah, with a picture taken way up in the air.
But I don't know if that would call under the same thing as a fake. That was more of a deception.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's still a fake. But my point is, why fake anything? Because it's not going to help the person faking it, other than unless they're just strictly doing it for malicious reasons to try and pull the wool over people's eyes.
Well, and that's what you have is you have people doing it for attention.
And what's happened now is evidence has become so commonly faked because people like to play on their computers and make fake stuff that now even real evidence is in question.
Yeah.
Nobody believes even real evidence anymore. So it's really, really hurting the field. Faking all the fake stuff that's out there has done so much damage to our field that even real evidence no longer is believed.
Right, of course. Well, I mean, it's been like
But
that
it's
for a
getting
while.
worse.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
getting worse.
Well, people get bored and they have their computers and they want attention. So
And what I feel really bad for, I feel really bad for that little paranormal group out there that's busting their asses trying to get evidence, and suddenly they get they get the mother of all evidence. A full body apparition stands up right in front of them, and everybody's going to call it a fake.
right.
And here it could be as real can be, but everybody's going to call it a fake because there is just so much fake stuff out there. So it's bad. It's sad. There's absolutely no way you can prove anything anymore.
Nope, not unless you were there.
Yep. So with that said, basically what it comes down to is if you're in a group and you guys collect evidence, your evidence is your evidence. It's
Yeah.
nothing more. It's nothing less. You can share it and let people look at it. Share it with people you trust, people that believe you for your word. But when you put it out there in public on Facebook or out there on Twitter or out there on,
On your
on your
webpage.
social media, most of the people looking at it are going to say that's faked.
Well,
Because they don't know you. They're just going to assume you're faking.
right now, what we do, because there's no scientific proof, is just theories.
Absolutely.
It's a theory that we capture voices from.
When we
People
pick up,
passed
when
on.
we get an EVP, like the little girl saying, "Hey, you guys,"
Yeah.
our theory is that is a deceased person trying to
Yeah.
contact us or are talking to us. That's our theory. That's what that is. It may not be.
Yeah.
It could be something completely out of left field.
Yeah. And because it's just theory, and I've said this before, you can convince some of the people all the time, but you can never convince all of the people some of the time.
Well, all I know is, as long as there's fake evidence all over the place, we're never going to be able to really advance this field. The only way
No.
this field is going to advance from where it is right now is a college, a reputable college, has to get a grant, a government grant,
Or a private grant.
or private grant. Money's money.
Yeah.
And they're going to do a scientific research using the scientific method in a place like Rolling Hills or a place, some place that is known haunted. And they're going to do this for several years. And
Well,
they're,
and
they're
it
going to
needs
collect the evidence.
Yeah, and it needs to involve a reputable
Scientists.
scientists with PhDs with their careers on the line. If they
Right.
fake stuff, they're gonna basically ruin their entire career.
Right.
And never be a credible
and
scientist
they have
again.
to be, and they have to be scientists that are open to either way.
Right.
Yeah.
They're either going to say yes, there is paranormal activity, or no, it does not exist.
Right.
And they
and
have to be.
they can't. There can't be any pressure from one side or the other. They have to be completely biased and
Right.
follow the evidence.
Because we're not paranormal investigators are not biased.
No.
We definitely want to see a ghost,
Right.
and some people want to see a ghost so bad that they tend to make a lot of things haunted that aren't.
Right. A lot of people are quick to jump to the paranormal.
Which is still another better
outcome.
segue of what we're going to be talking about. But you know what, Dan? It's I got a lot to talk about on this thing. So let's take an early break.
We can do that.
We have some new music this week,
Yes, we do.
and when we come back, we're gonna be talking about when you're doing your EVP sessions, sounds that you may pick up that are not paranormal.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about. How to tell the difference between something that's paranormal and something that is not paranormal. So Dan, who do we got for music? We got a new group this week.
Yes, we do. We have Black Velvet Society with Mark of Cain, and you can check them out on our featured artist page.
Thank you.
Doc, what's wrong with our friend?
I'm not sure. Ever since he's listened to Let's Talk Ghosts on Sunday night from 8 till 9 on DTMWickedRadio.com, he's been like this. I think he's become a fan.
Hi, this is Mike Shabrassi, executive producer for Deftone Picture Studios, and you're listening to Let's Talk Ghosts.
And that was Black Velvet Society with Mark of Cain, and you can check them out on our featured artist page.
Forgot the name of the song.
Yeah, well, it wasn't showing on there. Hey, it's the first time playing them.
Yeah.
Hey, not bad.
No.
Nice getting some new music. I'm going to try and bring some new music, and Twitter is pretty good for stuff like that. I'll start seeing more and more bands and start bringing people in. And it's kind of, we've been playing a lot of that stuff for a while, getting old. But it's all good music, though.
Right.
I'm not knocking any of it. It's all really good music. Well, anyways, Dan, do you know what time it is?
I think I do.
It's time for What the Heck Does That Mean?
Okay.
Okay, it's something to do with bats.
You got it.
Okay, let's go on.
Having to do with bats. That's the word.
Go ahead.
Emacity.
Say it again.
Emacity.
Emacity?
Yeah.
Can you spell it?
Emacity.
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 Oh, it's something to do with a really large email. It's like a massive email in the city.
A large email in the city?
A large email in the city?
No.
Isn't that a song? Email in the city. No?
No.
I think that's Hot Child in the City.
Oh, Hot Child in the City. Okay.
Yeah.
Not email in the city?
No.
All right. Say it again?
Emacity.
Emacity. Okay. This one, do you have a clue?
Well, mass, I'm thinking something big. It's a...
No.
No?
Okay, emacity. It's a condition.
It is kind of a condition.
It's a condition to the human person.
I would say women have this condition more than men do.
Large boobies?
No.
It's supposed to be a friendly show.
Well, boobies isn't really a bad word.
Yeah.
I could have said tatas.
No, it has nothing to do with any part of the anatomy.
But it'd be more likely a woman, huh?
More likely, yeah.
Okay, it's something to do with childbearing.
No.
And, well, women, the only thing different between a man and a woman are the plumbing and the fact that one can bear a child and one can't.
But he said men can do it, but women would probably do it more.
Right. Women tend to be like this more than men do.
Oh, they're grumpy.
No, not even close.
Do they talk more?
I believe they do, but this has nothing to do with that.
They're on their cell phones more.
That goes along with talking more, but I don't.
They take selfies more.
Yeah, they definitely take more selfies than men do.
Again.
Okay, use it in a sentence, please.
Women show great amacity when it comes to shoes.
It's when it comes to shoes. Okay, it's liking a variety of stuff.
Nope.
It's like liking something like you have a variety. You want to have a huge variety of different types of things.
Well, you're getting closer.
All right, I have no idea.
Yeah,
We're stumped.
Okay, emacity is a fondness for buying things.
Well, you seem to have that.
Oh, I do, but
You're constantly buying things.
Yes, I am. But women like to shop more than men do traditionally.
That's true, except for your mother.
Yeah.
I like to shop, and I can't. Her shopping is like, okay, we're done. Out. She's a pain to go shopping.
Well, I said that men do this. You know, there's a lot of men out there that like buying things. But...
One place I cannot take your mother is Harbor Freight. I'll even pimp Harbor Freight. I like Harbor Freight.
Yeah, I do too.
I know it's all Chinese stuff, but you know what?
There's some neat stuff in there.
There's neat stuff in there
at good prices.
And, yeah, it's cheap. I their batteries are good. I like their batteries.
Yeah, they're rechargeable batteries.
But boy, get Lois in there, and she's like, "Okay, we've been here long enough. Let's go. Let's go." She hates it in there. It's
I know.
It's like at the at the mall, if you go to the Sears tool department, she does not like tools or anything to do with tools. Where men like to walk around and look at tools.
Just walk around and see what's
we're
new.
a bunch of tools.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we're attracted to tools because we are tools.
Well, at Harbor Freight, you never know what they're going to have when they're going to get new stuff. So
I know. They have unique stuff.
Right. Like the electric fly swatter and
that, and engraving tools, and it just got neat stuff.
and
It's
yeah,
just
a lot of
stuff
times you can
never
find
know what they're gonna
you can find something really cool for like $5-10.
I buy all my. I always wear blue rubber gloves when I cook.
Right.
Because I have a thing about touching people's food. I don't like people touching my food, and I don't touch other people's food.
You better stop eating in restaurants because
I know, but I don't like people touching my food, and I try not to touch other people's food, so I always wear rubber gloves. I'm not a germaphobe. I just
the only restaurants where people actually wear gloves when they cook is fast food restaurants.
Yeah. Thank God I've seen some of the people work there.
Right.
You know, I almost always wear gloves when I clean. And that's because I'm a bit of chemophobic. I don't like chemicals touching my hands.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're we got about 25 minutes. About enough time here. We can hit this and do some of the other stuff.
What other stuff?
Oh, just gotta talk about that other stuff.
That-
We gotta talk about other stuff. Trust me, we'll get there.
I don't.
What I want to talk about. This is just going to be kind of like a little classroom discussion here, and people are out there. The one thing that everybody
who's
is
the
out,
teacher?
I am.
Okay.
Is all three of us are the teachers.
Ah.
Is people the main thing people get on an investigation are EVPs. Occasionally you get the photograph, occasionally you get the video, but primarily you get EVPs. I don't know anybody's going to dispute that.
No.
Primarily, the evidence we collect are in the form of EVPs, sound. And I've heard, I go out on the internet and I hear what people are claiming to be EVPs, and it's like, wow, that could be a million other things. And what I want to just kind of run by people is sounds that probably are not paranormal. Let's start with houses. You have houses are noisy.
Mm-hmm.
Just especially the older the house, the noisier it's going to be. You have heating and cooling systems that contract and expand. They make all kinds of noise. They rattle, bang, clunk, thunk, tick, tick, tick. You'll hear tick, 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 and that can be a heating system. They, as the metal joints are expanding, they sound like a clock ticking.
Yeah.
Plumbing, you can have the water pipes rattling, banging, clunking. When water pressure is turned on to a faucet, if the pipes aren't fastened properly, go running through a wall, they'll clunk every time you turn the faucet on and off because of the water hydraulic pressure hitting that valve on and off, especially if there's a little bit of air trapped in it somewhere.
Right.
It'll just bang, bang, bang. It makes awful noises.
Yeah.
And so this is the stuff, if you're going to do investigations, you have got to understand, you have got to take the time and learn how a house works, how they're built, and why they're built the way they're built. Because this stuff is the type of thing that you're going to pick up on your recorder, and you're going to make a fool of yourself claiming it as an EVP when in fact it's nothing more than a pipe clunking in the wall.
Well, and even if you're not talking EVPs and like you knock and then you think you're hearing a knock back,
Right.
Unless you can get that to happen on a, over and over again.
Right.
One knock could just be a pipe banging.
So when you're dealing with an older house, you are dealing with old plumbing, old electrical, and old heating systems that were put in 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago.
Right.
That were regulations and the way things were done were a lot more lax. I mean, they would just drill a hole and shove a pipe through it.
Right. The building codes were way different,
yeah.
non-existent.
Where today, a modern house, pipes and electrical and heating systems are actually put together in a way so that they're quiet. They don't make as much noise. They do that intentionally. They put bushings in the holes where they run pipes through, and they do as much as they can to quiet things down so they don't make all the noise. So the newer the house, probably the quieter it's going to be.
Also, modern houses. I mean, you talk old enough houses, and they were built without any of that stuff because it
Right.
didn't exist. So then you're going through and putting it in after the fact.
Right.
And like you said, they're just drilling holes and shoving pipes through.
Absolutely.
Where when you're building a house from scratch, with modern building styles, the walls are all
right.
open. And
they have a lot more stuff out there to make pipes and heating ducts quiet now.
Right.
They have different types of baffles and different things they put in them so they don't contract and make all the noise.
Right.
And you don't hear the things crackling and banging and ticking and thumping. And the same with the water lines. You don't hear them slamming and banging inside the walls. Where an older house, you're going to hear that stuff. Now,
like the heaters in my apartment in the house that me and John live in. I mean, they're during the winter they make all kinds of noise.
Oh yeah, they make all kinds of racket.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep that in mind when you're doing EVP sessions. You got to be aware of what the house is doing. The other thing is you got an old house. Now this can actually go in a new house, but you typically have them worse in an older house is the rodents, mice, rats, squirrels, birds.
Just critters.
Critters in general.
Yeah.
And the best way to verify that is everything that's not supposed to be in there. If they're in there, they will leave a little present behind.
Right.
They will leave droppings. So stick your head up in the attics, look around under the insulation. If you see a lot of mouse poop, or rat poop, or squirrel poop, or whatever, be aware of what this stuff looks like.
Squirrels and rats and mice, they can make a lot of scratching
they can make noise like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
A rat can literally chew through concrete.
Yeah.
So believe me, they can make a lot of noise.
Especially if they're digging at something, it can sound like scratching inside the walls.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, pets or animals that are supposed to be there, like cats and dogs, and a few vanity pets like snakes and reptiles or birds or something, they're noisy. Oh my God, birds are terrible.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever had anybody with a parrot or a parakeet or they never shut up. The only way you can shut up a parrot is you got to cover their cage up, I guess. You got to put a blanket over their cage.
They'll think it's nighttime and they go to sleep.
Right, but they're noisy. Dogs and cats are terrible because you can't hear a cat walk around. They're so quiet. They walk around. They're very stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they're right there, and they bump things and move things. They'll push a door open when you don't think anybody's there, but suddenly a door starts moving, and it's a cat. Cats and dogs.
Well, actually, even my fish can be loud. Like the couple bigger goldfish,
where they bang on the bowl and say, "Let me out! Let me out!"
Well, they do that, but they also pick up like big mouthfuls of rocks and spin them back out. So.
Really?
Yeah.
You can hear that?
At night, if you're laying there with the TV off, oh yeah, it's actually quite loud.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the fish can be quite loud.
That's interesting. You know what? If you had a recorder sitting near that, you'd probably hear that.
Oh, you would.
And you wonder what it was.
Right.
You'd never guess that.
No.
Especially if you had your underwater mic in there.
Hey, there you go. I got to get back on that again. I've let that slide for a while. Now, like I was saying before, old houses are noisier than new houses. Older houses have more creaks and groans in them. Older houses are more apt to have squeaky hinges, squeaky cabinet doors, squeaky floorboards that are going to creak when you walk on them.
Right.
And I've even seen boards that will creak when you step on them, and then as you walk away, they'll creak again.
Yeah, because they're kind of like coming back to their.
Yeah, they'll make a creak even after. They'll make a noise after nobody's even standing on them because I think they release some of the pressure slower. Or something. I don't know.
Whatever.
I've actually been to a case where a bedroom door was opening, and it was a floorboard in the kitchen that when you walked out.
Oh yeah.
You stepped on it, and the door would pop open.
It twist the door frame enough, or do something that would cause that door to swing.
Yep.
Well, and actually, they found that at one of the early cases in Ghost Hunters.
Oh, was it?
Wasn't it that church that they did in one of the first couple seasons?
I think there was one where they found that the floorboard was causing a door to swing, or a cabinet or door or something.
Well, the people were claiming that the spirit was opening the door for them when they were coming home or whatever, and when you walk through the foyer towards the door, it would pop the door open sometimes. And they found that they'd close the door and stomp around and the door would pop open. Right. And so that was doing it. The people that lived there were claiming it was a spirit doing it, but it was just...
Yeah.
So I guess with everything said about houses, even if you're not in construction, take some time, do a little research, learn a little bit about how a house is built, why they're built the way they're built, learn a little bit about how the plumbing is run, electricity, everything. you have to know this. If you want to be an effective investigator, you have to know where sounds can come from, or you're going to be playing evidence that's not evidence.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting sounds. I mean, not every noise your recorder picks up is a ghost.
Definitely not.
Now that's just a little bit of it. Now that's just inside of a house.
Right.
Now let's go outside. A lot of people like to investigate outside.
Now, can we go out now?
Yeah, we can go out now.
Okay.
So
It's
everybody,
starting to get a little warm in here.
yeah, a lot of people like to do outdoor investigations, like in cemeteries, battlefields, wherever. And I went out on the internet and I found sound effects pages. Go out and find sound effects pages, or just Google wild animal sounds or wild bird sounds, wild animal sounds and stuff. And you want to hear some, and then try and understand what animals and birds you have in your area, and just play some of those back and see what they sound like. Some of them are pretty creepy.
Oh yeah. One of the creepiest ones around here is the screech owl.
Oh my God, it sounds like a Tyrannosaurus Rex coming through the
I
field.
know.
But there's some really weird sounds, is like our deer. Deer make a lot of different types of grunts and groans and different sounds, bellers, and they do different things when they're trying to attract a doe or when they're trying to do different things. They make some really funny sounds.
Yeah.
That you would never guess was a deer. They almost sound demonic. You know? So if you're outside doing an investigation and you're picking these noises up, it might just be a deer.
Yeah.
There's foxes that make. I think it's a fox. I think it's a red fox. There's one that makes a sound that sounds just like a crying baby. I think it's a red fox.
Could be.
Yeah, it's one of them makes a sound that almost sounds just like a crying baby. There's just so many noises that animals make. So my suggestion is, take the time, if you want to be an effective investigator, find a sounds effect page that has animals on it. Find the animals that are in your area. Listen to them.
Yeah.
See what they sound like. Listen to what a blue jay sounds like. Listen to what a deer sounds like when it's mating, or what a skunk sounds like. Believe it or not, skunks make noises.
They can hiss. I've had one hiss at me.
Raccoons make all kinds of racket.
Yeah.
I mean, they practically talk.
I believe it's a coyote that can actually make a screaming sound.
Yep, coyotes make a screaming sound and whimper sounds.
And it can sound like a person.
Yeah. Woodchucks can whistle. Did you know that?
No.
They whistle. That sound just like a person. They kind of do a quick whistle. I can't do it, but
Yeah.
But they do a real sharp, shrill whistle, and it's an alert that they do for other woodchucks to kind of that there's danger.
Yeah.
So they, they whistle. So if you're doing an investigation during the day, you might be picking up, and you hear a whistle, you could be picking up a woodchuck whistle.
And the thing is your recorder can pick up things better than your ears can.
Right.
So just because you don't hear it and then it's on the recorder doesn't mean that it wasn't something natural.
Outdoor EVPs, I'm going to take a wild guess. Probably wild animals are probably responsible
For a lot of them.
for a lot of outdoor EVPs that people think they're getting EVPs, and when they're probably nothing more than some animal making a noise. They make a lot of weird noises.
Right.
Now, the other thing is bodies of water. If you're doing an investigation next to a big body of water, whether it's a river or a lake, sound will travel over water for miles. You could have a person a mile away across the water, and you can practically listen to everything they're saying. If they're just talking in a normal tone of voice, their voices will carry up. If the conditions are right, you can hear their conversation.
Well, I mean, I've experienced this across like a pond that was maybe a couple hundred feet,
And you can hear everything you're saying.
They're talking in a normal voice,
Right.
where if you weren't on water, you wouldn't even hear them talking. But on a pond,
Sounds like they're right there.
right there next to
Right.
you.
So if you got people talking and hooting and hollering, having a party, and they're a mile or so across the water, and you're doing an EVP session, you may actually pick that up.
You probably will.
Then you also have waves lapping at the shore. You have whitecaps on the waves making noises. Could
Well,
be
and
making
also
noise.
you
Fish jumping,
Yep, and you have all the animals that go along with water, like peepers, like frogs.
frogs, and plus water attracts large animals.
Yeah.
Deer, bear, raccoons, you know, you name it. They're always hanging around water.
A good example of sound traveling is right here in the studio. You said you've heard car doors slam, and it's been the neighbors 2 houses away.
Well, I'm on top of a big hollow hole here, and it's like the
Yeah.
drum effect, and the sound comes up to the ground, and I can hear it, and it travels for a long distance. But yeah, I mean, when you're outdoors, you just got to be very, very aware of your surroundings and understand that the surroundings could be contributing to the sounds you're picking up. Now, I'll give you another example of water. If you're on a large body of water, is say you're investigating a house on a big river, and it's the middle of winter. The river's frozen solid. And suddenly, you get an EVP of this really loud, almost demonic groan. Now, you get all excited because you think, "Oh my God, I just got something really weird," when in fact it's nothing more than the river making ice. When large bodies of water make ice, they make some really crazy sounds. I went ice fishing one time up at the St. Lawrence River, and we were out there in the middle of the river. We were on 3 feet of ice, and we're just hanging out, and all of a sudden this ungodly growl. I mean, it sounds demonic. This deep guttural growl just comes up out of the ice and just surrounded us. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And they're all going, that's just the river making ice. I go, really? They said, as it makes ice, it expands. And as it's making expansion, as it expands, it makes these really weird growling noises. And it's unnerving when you first hear it.
Yeah.
It's really, it does it about once an hour. You'll hear it about once an hour. It'll do it. And your EVP, our voice recorder picked that right up. I guarantee it'd pick it right up. And you wouldn't know what the heck that was. Say you left the recorder down by the water, running, and you'd hear that when you play. You go to listen back, and you'd hear that.
Or if you were inside the house and you didn't hear with your ears, but your
recorder would pick it up.
Recorder picked it up.
So if you're near a large body of water that's making ice, it will make noises. It can be really loud and very weird sounding. Just I guess when it comes right down to it, it's be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, just because you can't explain what it is doesn't make it paranormal.
Absolutely.
Well, that's why
not.
I'm not a big fan of EVPs that are just a sound or just a syllable. It's
nice if they have some cadence.
Yeah, because our language has like a cadence to it.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, when you're getting EVPs, if you believe it's a spirit talking, it should have some kind of cadence. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, jumping to paranormal for a sound,
like that girl voice at the Erie Mansion, she giggles, and then you hear this, "Hey, you guys," and there's a cadence to it.
Right. And it's more than just like one syllable. There's the giggling, which stands out, and then, "Hey, you guys."
And just listen to a lot of EVPs online, because eventually you're going to be able to tell the difference between a voice and an EVP.
I mean, I'm quick to just rule out pretty much any sounds. Just if you just hear a sound.
I find EVPs kind of have a sound.
Yeah.
I can't really explain. I've been listening to them for so long that I can almost tell one that's real or not real. They almost have a different tone to them.
Yeah.
It's not the same as us percussing air through our vocal cords. It's like almost like a different sound. Even though that one at the Erie Mansion doesn't really have that, but it
kind of does.
It does to a point.
Yeah.
You know what? We're getting close here. Let me do my other thing here.
Okay.
I think we beat that up pretty good.
We did.
Just
I don't feel comfortable with it.
Be aware.
Be aware of your surroundings, and be aware of what else can make sounds. I mean, I always go back to that one episode of Taps when they were in they're investigating the town hall, and right on national TV they said that was a ghost, and when they played that EVP back, it was nothing more than a pigeon cooing on its nest.
Right.
I knew what it was. I've seen them before. I've heard them a million times. It was a pigeon. And they just didn't know what it was, so they were calling it paranormal. So be aware of the animals and your surroundings, and you will get better evidence. Now, once again, we are going to talk about our friends to the north, way north.
Canada?
Yeah. Upstate Paranormal Society, they are putting on the FL Paracon at
Which is the Finger Lakes Paracon.
the Finger Lakes Paracon. I know, I keep saying the FL. I'm reading off my notes. It's on September 26th, 27th, 28th. On September 26th, you can go out ghost hunting. You can sign up and go out ghost hunting with a group, and with different groups around the area. They're going to investigate different haunts, and all they ask for is a donation for the event. That just kind of helps pay for, rehab of the facilities that you're investigating.
Yeah.
On Saturday and Sunday, which would be the 27th, 28th, they're going to have the Paracon, which is they're going to have a lot of ghost hunters there. They're going to have paranormal investigators. They're going to have psychic, medium, UFO researchers, Bigfoot investigators, palm readers, tarot card readers, and Reiki practitioners from across upstate New York. A bunch of stuff going on. Now, it is not very expensive. It's only $10 to get in for adults, and it's 17 and under is free. We're going to be there. You're going to be able to meet me and Dan. We'll be up there for both days. Will not, correct?
Nope, I have another event to go to, and actually, I just found out I'm going to be speaking
Okay.
at this event both days.
So
We don't care.
We're going to, me and Dan will be there for the 2 days. Now,
Signing autographs.
you can go to www.flparacon.com and you can get all the information you need for this event. You can call area code 315-406-4866 for information. And you can also shoot them an email at flparacon@gmail.com. And but I recommend just go to the website. That's my recommendation. Everything is on the website.
Yeah, all the information.
All the information is on the website. How to get there? It's going to be held at the on 74 State Street, Auburn, New York, at the Hilton Garden Inn Event Center. Never been there.
Nope.
But sounds nice. It says has Hilton in there.
Yeah.
Wonder if Paris will be there.
I think they said she's gonna be.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
No, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
She's going to be DJing. She's a DJ now.
Yeah.
Is
Did
she?
you know? Yeah, she does DJing now.
Huh.
She gets paid like $1 bazillion to show up and spin tunes.
Gotcha.
Or mix tunes or whatever.
Scratch
she does.
records.
Scratch records. Or scratch other girls. I don't know what she does. whatever Paris does. She can do whatever she wants. She's rich.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But anyways, this sounds like a good event. Me and Dan will be there. And you can come up and meet us. We like to meet our fans.
Yes, I ordered 10,000 8x10 glossy
And we're going to sell them for $100
photos
a
of
piece.
myself. Yeah, it's gonna be $100 a piece. So really need a lot of people.
$200
to
if we sign them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? We'll sell any?
I probably not.
I was expecting to sell out.
That's why I got 10,000 of them. I figured we'd sell out on the first
Yeah.
day.
You think that our guests, our fans, are that gullible?
Yes.
All right. You are listening to Let's Talk Ghost. That's it. See you later. No, and you can hear us anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.letstalkghost.com. You can also hear us on Sunday night between 8 and 9 on DTM Wicked Radio. And you can also hear the phone ringing in the background, which makes me mad because it was a stupid call. Let me get back to that. All right, we'll get back to it. And you can find us on Twitter.
We're real professionals.
Yeah, we are. You can find us on Twitter. Just search for Let's Talk Ghost. You can find us on Facebook. Search for Let's Talk Ghost. Did I leave anything? Oh, and if Dan ever puts them on YouTube, our videos, a few of our videos are up there.
Yeah.
Make us happy and go look at them. At least click on them so we know you looked at them. Because our numbers aren't very good on the videos, are they, Dan?
No.
We got to get more people watching.
If you
our
want to
videos.
see more, you can write Dan at his private email and
Yes.
Yes.
complain to him.
No, but we would eventually we'll get some of the videos up there. Maybe. You
Yeah,
never
maybe.
know. You never know about that. We did get new music this week.
We did.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully in here we'll start getting some more interviews in. I just didn't. I was busy this week. I didn't get any. Oh, now I got hiccups. Isn't that great? No.
Well, at least you got them at the last
Yeah.
minute of the show.
But anyways, we're running down. You got anything, Dan? Are you good?
I'm not good.
You're not good.
No.
No, where were you going to be, Will? You were going somewhere, right? You were going to be at the
Robercon.
Robercon.
Yeah, in Binghamton at Robertson Science Museum.
When is that?
It's going to be the 26th and 27th.
Oh, that's
or
right.
27th and 28th, sorry.
Okay, same time we're up at
Same
the
time you guys
Finger
are
Lakes
there.
Americon. Okay,
And
cool.
I just found out I would be speaking both days now.
Oh, what are you going to be speaking about?
Paranormal.
Really?
Yep.
Really? You know anything about that?
A little bit. A little bit.
Cool. I'd like to go on a ghost hunt sometime, see what that's like.
Yeah, you should. It's a lot of fun.
I'm afraid I'd be scared.
Yeah.
I'll wear my Depends. And with that said, we will see you all on the next investigation.